Shit, black 15. Shit, 55 to Mike. Twist.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
390.
From the 25 on second down, Rivers. And he whips that one incomplete there. Mike Williams, the intended target, and it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Let's get off the field.
On third down, Rivers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jonathan Joseph will get the credit for the sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but it definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
I'm going to come back to you.
Watson on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is Watson. And that's off the mark, incomplete. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Watson with a give to Miller. And his first carry, he loses the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
190. Mike 51. Crunch time, defense. Showing it.
Now Gordon on 1st down. He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Alpha! Everyone, 37's the Mike. Mike 37. You ain't got nothing. Hey, Echo.
They just got that play off. Now Rivers. On the right side, caught by Green. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Hey, Delta!
Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They begin the drive with Johnson. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 34-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soft.
On the toss, here's Johnson. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2, as they've got it 2nd and 7. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit, thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Let's get it. Because it's that. 19. Give these traps. Let's go. 57's the mic. Right, 57. Here we go. Get up. 31. 57's the mic. Go. Hey, you got to snap it.
After the run, Watson going to throw. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And picked up by the Chargers. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
This pass finds its way to Williams, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one...
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Texans scoop it. And this results in 6. Touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Check 52.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The second quarter score, meanwhile, down in Arizona. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson, off play action. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Vincent Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Next to score, Texans 14, Chargers 0.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Rivers to Allen on the hook up there. 53 yards. That's a heck of a way to convert on 3rd and long, and he showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on a down. You shouldn't. 3rd and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
At the Texans' 35-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Right here, guys. Fight to
Throwing Rivers. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Rivers now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Melvin Gordon, as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson, he shakes it off. Airing it out deep for Smith. That's going to be caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 24. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A shotgun snap for Watson, eluding the pressure right. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Huge article in their local paper this morning saying how the 4 interceptions last week led them to that victory. Here they haven't been able to come up with one, and they're losing. Probably not a coincidence.
I don't think so at all. I think you're spot on, but maybe they put a little extra pressure on themselves because the 4 interceptions last week, victory. Right now, no interceptions in this game. Had a chance for one, missed it, and they're losing. Probably feeling the pressure right now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that's caught by Smith. Touchdown, Houston. Vincent Smith with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. That throw into the arms of Allen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. A toss play. Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Gordon, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Reset. I'm scared. Check 3.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the slant.
Operating from the gun, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he's standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now it's Watson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Again, it's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man?
And he's going to go down. down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Rivers now. Allen's got it over the middle. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for fourth down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw is Watson. To throw on 3rd down. The open man is Smith. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in the preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Joey Bosa. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returning, it's Benjamin. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. From the gun, Rivers. Over the middle, complete. It's Allen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The 2nd quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. Now Rivers. Got a man over the middle. it's Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Rivers now 6 for 6 is coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock with the 2-minute warning. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it with Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
First down, Houston.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Step run 80. Step 180. Hey, easy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Man open left side. It's Williams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And Green with a catch left side. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. So it's It's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. One last shot now for Rivers. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.